Holy crap. This is what is known as a partial solar eclipse. Here in Maryland, we are getting about an 80% eclipse, and you can't see it through these fucking clouds. Yeah, that's real convenient there. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah. It's happening. Oh, that is a solar eclipse. Oh, wow. That is fucking sexy as shit. Look at that. Wow. Oh, yeah. It's just a partial, but it counts. About 80% covered here in Maryland. If you can't see it, I apologize. I don't have the right lens. But oh man, wish you were here to see this. It is cool. It's not like midnight like it is in other states that got to see this. But oh my gosh. Oh wow. This is cool.
Wasabi guys, hope wherever you were in the US that you got the opportunity to watch that phenomenon. Oh my god, was that just incredible. Now to celebrate that, I just want to go over the 10 best sun-related cards. Naturally, that's what I do on my channel. I make a top 10 of it. This doesn't have to be anything good in particular, but we're just going to go over just noteworthy cards, whether it's because of their power, or just the artwork is incredible, or just anything I really give a shit about, to be honest, because that's what my top 10s are usually about. So let's go over some honorable mentions, but these are not so much honorable, it's just I didn't know if these were suns and I was just too afraid to ask. So we have Wrath of God, Damnation, and Merciless Eviction. I want to say they're suns, but Damnation looks more like a black hole to me. Wrath of God looks more like, you know, just like a ball of light rather than just a sun. I really don't know if that makes it a sun, so I guess it's worth noting. And Merciless Eviction has just cool artwork, so I thought it was worth noting as well. But I just don't feel like it's a sun. I feel it's just like an orb of darkness. I don't know if that qualifies as a sun or anything sun-related. Who the hell knows? But let's move on to this actual list here with the cards that do matter. Number 10 is Calling Sun. It is 5 mana in Orzhov for an effect that destroys all creatures CMC 3 or less, which is kind of weird. Because usually you would want an effect like this in a creature-based deck where you have bigger creatures that you can get around this and you can manipulate that to your advantage. But in black and white, you don't really have a whole lot of those creatures. So kind of interesting why this was chosen to be in these colors. But it's still a really cool card. It's relevant because I'm guessing that's like a solar eclipse that these people forgot to get their special solar eclipse glasses and they're getting blinded. That's my guess. Number 9, we have Channel the Suns, and this is not going to be the only Mirrodin related card here because there are 5 suns, and there's people on Mirrodin just crazy about their suns. So we're going to see more of these sun related cards from Mirrodin as well. And Channel the Suns is basically just, you know, 4 mana to add 5 mana to your mana pool of each individual color. So you get the mana fixing there. If you're a 5-color deck, if you're playing Progenitus as your commander, this is obviously a card that you want to put in there for ramping up there as well. But it's good mana fixing too if you desperately need it. Chances are your deck is going to have access to green just by default, so you can play cards like Birds of Paradise as early as possible. Then we have Serene Sunset, one of those cards that is on here because of the artwork. Who doesn't like a sunset? This just looks amazing. Granted, we have better fog effects, but in terms of the situation, you could use this to your advantage and say if your opponents are attacking, and it almost gives your creatures first strike in a situation where they're not going to be dealt damage, but they're going to be able to deal damage to your opponent's creatures. So it could be a way to get rid of creatures that your opponents control rather than just prevent all combat damage, period. So it's not preferable. I know a lot of decks would just rather have a fog effect just so they don't have to dump as much mana into an effect like this. Then we have All Suns Dawn. It's yet another card that references the 5 Suns of Mirrodin, and it makes sense. You're paying 5 mana, and for each individual color of mana, you get to return a card from your graveyard that is that color. 5 cards to your hand is the absolute best case scenario, but most of the time you can't expect that. It's going to be a lot less. maybe 2 or 3 if you're lucky. But it's still a cool looking card here. I love the artwork most of all. And again, when we're talking about suns, Mirrodin has 5 suns, and they're colored suns, and I think that's really cool as well. Next we have the newest card on this list here, and that is Approach of the Second Sun. You just have the sun moving, and oh man, it's so cool just to see it change and all that. But the card is cool too. The card is cool. It has this sort of win con here. It's very you just sort of win. You play the first Approach of the Second Sun, and then if you happen to have another one, or if you're lucky enough to get the original one that you played, you will win the game, because all you have to do is just cast it a second time in a game, and you've won. So it's a very powerful card. I don't like it as just terms of being a fun card. I don't think it's very involving. It's just, hey, do you have enough mana to play this card twice in the same game? However, in terms of the artwork, I'm going to have to toss out an honorable mention to Overwhelming Splendor. I kind of feel like if you swapped out the artwork here, you would have something really special. And I definitely love this artwork a lot better. But I just think it's noteworthy. They're very similar. I mean, they might as well be the same exact setting, because that's really what it is. You have the sun, though. It's more direct. It's more centered. It's definitely a lot cooler. And you see the destruction there. I mean, it's really cool. And number 5 is Heliod, God of the Sun. Why the hell shouldn't he be on this list? I mean, he is basically based off of Helios, who is the Titan god of the sun in Greek mythology. And Theros was just filled with flavor based around Greek mythology to begin with, so why not? His abilities aren't too terribly powerful. The 4 mana to get a 2/1, it's good if you have nothing better to do, but it's not preferable. Really, you just want him for the fact that he's a 5/6 indestructible if you have the devotion, and also the fact that he gives all your creatures vigilance, which is pretty decent. Just a pretty cool god here. He's definitely relevant to the lore. Can't wait to go back to Theros, mainly because of this dude. Number 4 is Caged Sun. Yet another card referencing Mirrodin in some way, shape, or form. But this time you just see like a little sun there. It's in a cage, so it doubles your mana. If it's black mana, it can tap for black mana. It gets double that mana. So you have something that can double your mana if it's just one color. So it's mainly going to be seeing play in monocolored decks everywhere. And it gives an anthem for creatures of that color as well. So you have, it's very specific for monocolored decks. You're only going to really see play there. It's a pretty decent option. The artwork looks cool. I like the artwork there. It's kind of, the perspective here is a little difficult to understand why there's a sun that's that small. I don't know if the sun is actually that small or it got shrunk down. I don't know the lore, but it's pretty cool. I like the artwork, and it's a powerful card. Number 3 is a 5-way tie between all of the sons of Mirrodin. The Zenith cards is what I mean, basically. They all do different things. My personal favorite are the Green Sun Zenith and the Black Sun Zenith, because I really think it's cool. You have a creature tutor that puts it directly on the battlefield for green creatures, and you have the Black Sun Zenith, which can put the -1/-1 counters on creatures. They're both really cool. I like those. The other one, you have the red one, which deals damage to target creature or player, and if a creature would die this way, it gets exiled. That's probably the weakest one, or the most boring one at least. The white one just makes 2/2 kitty cat tokens, and the blue one just lets you draw cards, which, yeah, big deal, drawing cards. I mean, it's not a bad one either. But really, I mean, looking at the artwork on these cards, you really start to see that the inhabitants of Mirrodin are all a bunch of sociopaths just worshipping these suns. They're a bunch of crazy sons of bitches just running around, you know, throwing their hands up in the air. Oh, look, it's a colored sun. Wow. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Number 2 is Sun Titan. Literally has sun in the name. He is a Sun Titan. Kind of funny because we have Heliod, god of the sun, but actually, like, Helios was a Sun Titan, or was it actually a Titan god of the sun? So kind of funny how this could also be a reference to Helios. But anyway, the guy's badass. He's played in so many decks in Commander and White. Being able to bring back any permanent CMC 3 or less is incredible. Every time you either flicker him or you attack with him, you get a ton of advantage. He's honestly one of the best white creatures ever made. He's just such a badass. And then number 1 should be no surprise to any of you. If you've seen these before, you know exactly why they're on this list, and it is only fitting. Since this is, in fact, to celebrate the solar eclipse, we have the Guru lands. Limited to players who are involved with the Guru program way back in 2000, it ended, and a lot of the prizes, the rewards for this Guru program were the Guru lands. And these look beautiful. All 5 done by Therese Nielsen, who is one of the most loved artists in Magic the Gathering. And holy crap, is this a prime example of why she is. Each land here goes through the cycle of a double eclipse, which I guessing that's with 2 moons. That's my best guess, or 2 suns. I really don't know. You kind of see the cycle there, and I don't know where it starts or where it ends. I'm not quite sure. I'm not an expert on these all rotations or anything, but it looks cool as shit. I really love these art. The swamp is probably my favorite because it actually has the total eclipse there, and you see the ring of light, and that's cool. The island one is nice looking as well. I mean, they're all beautiful. I'm not gonna take a shit on any of them, but there's obviously ones that I like more than the other, but they're really cool, and they're definitely worth putting here. Number 1, they're absolutely just brilliant, and they're sun related. I mean, they're sun related. This is some of Therese Nielsen's just most brilliant looking cards, and they're definitely expensive because of that, and because of their rarity, of course, but they just look amazing. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the solar eclipse through the states, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for being good sports about it. Obviously, this wasn't a serious video, so thank you for sticking around this long, and stay tuned for more content. I am making more videos here. Anyway, Void here signing off. Y'all have a wonderful day.